All right. There we go. Okie dokie. Let's see what we have coming on in here. All right. Get ourselves situated here for a second. Hello, hello, hello. Well, another midweek, live chat, live stream here. Hey, Ralph, good afternoon. Hopefully your day has gone better than mine has. My day has gone basically with me doing absolutely nothing today. Made my delivery in Tappahannock, Virginia yesterday afternoon around 3 to 4 o'clock. Found me a place to park at the local Walmart in Tappahannock, Virginia. Parked there overnight. Got up this morning. Around 8:30, 9 o'clock, I sent off a message to my dispatcher, driver manager, and basically asked a simple question. Should I make my way into a general direction for my next load, either up north to Baltimore or back down south into North Carolina? Basically, all I was told after well over an hour later that just hold tight. That's all the information I got. Well, I held tight for another 3 hours or so, and I made the executive decision to say, okay, I'm not going to stay in the Walmart parking lot two nights in a row and spend all day here. That's just, Tappahannock, Virginia is not exactly on the main highway. It's a little bit out of the way, respectively. It's not impossible to get to, but, it's just not, top of the list of places to go. It's right on the James River, which leads right into the Chesapeake Bay, about 20 miles to the east, approximately. Well, so after that message of hold tight had been basically become like 3 hours old, I made the decision to say, screw that, send him a message saying, I'm heading over to Rutherford Glen, Virginia, here off of I-95, south of Washington, D.C., north of Richmond, Virginia, exit 104. Everybody knows this location. And I got here just about 12:30. And I've been waiting since that point in time. I mean, it's basically been almost 5 hours. Oh, well over 8 hours since I got that. I sent off that first message of the day. So, no load for me. And I can't honestly say that it's directly me because there's another driver from my company, basically right next to me, who is basically in the same situation. He was over in Chantilly, to the off of up near I-81. So he was left, in a place that not a lot of loads are coming out of. So he basically came toward my location as well. And he's a more veteran driver than I am. He's been around driving trucks for many more years than I have. So that kind of tells me that my decision to come here was the correct one. So, we're looking at just about 27 hours since I made my delivery yesterday to today without a new load. That's the way it happens sometimes. Yeah, I can complain about it because I want to be working. I don't come here just to sit on my duff and just get a paycheck because I'm occupying the truck. No. I have a bit of self-worth about myself. I want to earn my paycheck, But, that's just part of the game. Well. But, it does give me an opportunity to clean and organize and take care of other things besides just driving the truck and putting the load on and taking the load off. And I get to do the other living parts of being a full-time OTR truck driver. So, I just bought me a carpet cleaner. 99.999% of most truck drivers do not have a carpet cleaner. Little Bissell carpet cleaner. Got the solution tank right here. Dirty water tank right here. Got a spray nozzle right here. Sucks it up there. Simple lithium cordless model. A little bit more than what the truck actually needs. But I like having my carpet in this little area clean. I like having these curtains clean. I like my seats being clean. I like this stuff back here, this fake, I want to say vinyl, fake leather crap. I want that clean. I like living in a clean environment. Hello, sir. Welcome. Welcome. Good to have you in. Good to see you again. Thank you very much. But like I said, a good vacuum. Hey, Kiana, welcome. Glad to have you in. So sorry that I heard when I saw about Serafina today. I'm truly sorry, and I am saying my prayers for her recovery, and hope you don't have that ever again. That I know that the area you live in right now, you are prone to have those kinds of poisonous animals, and they could strike without making any warning. So, but I am saying my prayers for her and for you as well, and just hoping when you make that move, it works out a lot better for you. But until Serafina is back to full health, I will continue to say my prayers. The average time, it's varied. It really has varied a good deal. I mean, like I said, this wait is about 27 hours. There have been times where I dropped my load off, and 3 seconds later, when I punched in the computer that I got to my delivery, when I got to my delivery and I clicked that workflow button, say I've arrived, bam, I've had a load right there. Damn, yeah, you need to get out of the Southwest there. Oh man, I tell you. So what area in Tennessee are you looking to go to, Kiana? Like I said, once I got that workflow button tabbed and said I was here, I've had loads immediately. But the biggest issue is the fact that I've been deadheaded 250 miles, 450 miles, 600 miles. I was deadheaded one time. I find it difficult to believe that you will deadhead a guy 600 miles from Florida, southern Florida, all the way back up to Georgia for a load. And, you know, yeah, it may have been a great paying load, which I'm sure justified the cost of that deadhead. But at the same time, I find it difficult to believe that in the mid-Atlantic area, you know, the Port of Baltimore is right there. Couple hours ride, you know, north, Port of Baltimore. We take stuff out of the Port of Baltimore all the time. There had been something there I could have taken. Yes, I'm on a step deck. Yes, that will reduce the size of something that I can actually carry. I understand that. There's some things that are too tall. There's some things that are too heavy that I just can't carry working on a step deck. Yeah, Keon, I'm doing good. I mean, just plugging away, learning to run the permits, learning, you know, just being as vigilant as I can, you know, taking care of things as they go along. You know, so I'm doing good-ish, you know. But like I said, you know, I think that's the bigger issue than the amount of than being able to find, you know, how do I want to phrase this? If they are willing to, you know, make me deadhead 600 miles for a load, I find it difficult to believe there's no load within a 200-mile radius of the Virginia-Maryland border. I find it difficult to believe that's the case. There was no loads, nothing that I could carry. But if it doesn't make financial sense for the company to take one of those loads, it makes much more sense for me to sit. Well, like I said, I don't get to see everything that the salesman, the dispatcher, you know, Jackson, Tennessee, been there many a time. Jackson's not too bad. I mean, it is small town country. It's not exactly the hub of business, but there's some good job opportunities in the area. So, you know, I think you and the boyfriend would have a good time getting there, you know, once you're there. Yeah, I mean, because you're not too far away from some major cities. Is it hard to learn to drive flatbed? No, it's not. The number one thing you have to remember that I learned was you have to be more diligent in making sure that your load is properly secured. That's number one thing. It really isn't that much more work. It is more physical work than just, you know, putting, you know, swinging a door closed, checking on a reefer. You know, yes, it is. But when I was at my first company, Watkins Shepherd, 2 years ago, I went from being an arborist, being a landscaper, doing physical work all day, every day. So going into driving a van, you know, delivering from, you know, the Georgia Pacific paper factory in in Bruton, Alabama, and driving 260 miles north to the west side of Atlanta, dropping up rolls of paper and doing that, 8 weeks in a row. It really wasn't a lot of work. I mean, the hardest thing that I ever had to do was wind up a trailer, wind down a trailer. That was the hardest work I did. But then I went and worked, did some local deliveries with a 53-foot van with a standard 2016 Volvo sleeper. And I was doing that to downtown Chicago, downtown Detroit, Long Island, New Jersey, upstate New York, all over the place, West Virginia. I was putting that truck in some pretty tight places. And that was a little bit, like I said, it was a little bit physically more active when I was doing local delivery because, I was pulling that carpet out of the truck. I was moving those sofas and chairs and tables. I was moving them to the back of the truck to offload it. So then when I went from that, doing regular OTR, dropping hooks, full truckload, stuff, it wasn't a big shift going from that to doing flatbed. The only thing with flatbed is you're out in the elements a little bit longer. Most of the time when I was taking stuff off of the van, I was getting out of the truck, walking into the building. I was bumping a dock with most of these places. So, I was never really out in the elements as much. But flatbed, step deck, RGN, heavy haul, you are out in the elements a lot more. Now, with regular flatbed, like Melton, Maverick, one of these other flatbed companies, I found that you typically use the 4-inch wide, fabric straps to go over and secure your load. I use those more than anything else. I rarely use chains. I think the only time I used chains was when I did some of the big air conditioners or things of that nature. Big machinery where I had metal support structure underneath and I could chain it down. But for the most part, I use straps when I was at Melton. I learned a bit about securement. I learned enough about how to put things on the deck properly, where to position them, where to strap things down, and how it's going to move if I did this or did that, that kind of stuff. And as far as driving, as long as you start with that understanding of how to secure the load first, the driving part really isn't that much different for regular flatbed. A big square, full track, trailer full of hay or full of, full of styrofoam, it's not that difficult. The hardest part about being a regular flatbed, especially at Melton, was putting that tarp on and off all the time. But if you like a little bit of physical work, it's not that bad. I mean, you will learn. I mean, but that's I've said it before. I deliberately did my trucking career in a couple of stages. From day one of deciding to be a truck driver, I wanted to do heavy haul. So I went to trucking school, paid out of pocket, went trucking school, got the job that I wanted. I started with van trailers for the simple fact that I wanted to make sure, absolutely sure, that I was learning how to be a truck driver first. All the basic stuff. I started off in kindergarten for truck driving. And then I graduated to first grade, second grade, third grade, blah, 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 blah. Then I moved up to flatbed. I moved up to junior high. Okay? I learned everything that I could there as well. I made sure I read. I made sure but I used YouTube like nobody's business. When I first started becoming a truck driver, watching YouTube vlogs, and then learning as much as I could from everybody on YouTube. Then, like I said, once I learned everything I could from regular truck driving a van, running a reefer, doing a lumper load, dealing with food, dealing with carpet, dealing with batteries, dealing with all kinds of different things. Then I moved over to Melton doing the flatbed. I learned the securement, placement, how things actually move, because when they're inside of a van, you can't see them. Oh, you'll might put a strap here or a load bar there, but for the most part, very few people driving a van trailer or a reefer ever put any kind of securement to keep that load from moving. So if it shifts, you don't see it until it busts through the side, or you open them doors and go, oh my goodness, what happened? I didn't like that. I mean, I had 3 dozen, click lock straps on my truck when I was at Wackett Shepherd, because I made sure that anything that went on that truck did move. And a lot of, when I was doing the local delivery stuff, 12, 13, 14 deliveries coming out of a 53-foot van, I made sure things stayed where they were, because I wanted to have something that broke. Hey, Rhonda, how you doing? Hope you're feeling a little bit better. Sorry to hear you're feeling bad. I will say a prayer for you tonight. And I had a bit of an illness last night as well, a little bit of a upset stomach, but that's pretty much passed. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, darn, sorry. But like I said, once I moved to doing flatbed, I just really tried to focus on getting what's on that deck of that trailer, right. Did that first. The truck didn't move until I got it right. And then once I felt it was right, then I went. Then I did, the regular driving part. The driving part's the easiest part, It just takes the longest amount of time. And then, like I said, once I felt I learned enough from Melton, I moved up to doing heavy haul, which I finally felt I was at the very, very bottom of the heavy haul ladder, right? So day 1, trucking school, zip, spike. Day 1 from driving a van up, maxed out. Flatbed, up, maxed out. Now I'm at heavy haul, and I'm still learning. There's still too much to learn. That I did not want to start my trucking career straight into heavy haul. I didn't think that would do me any good. So I learned this amount. Now I got that base on. Now let's learn the secondary level. I don't have to worry about that, learning that first stuff in conjunction with this stuff. So now I'm at a point where all the driving and paper handling and regulations and all that other little jazz that you would have to learn if you did it all together, you can easily forget something. Now I'm only learning heavy haul specific stuff. And as I progress through and get more and more knowledge and skill, then I'll keep progressing. More axles on the truck, heavier equipment. I'll be driving the equipment as well as, because right now I really don't operate the equipment that's getting loaded on the truck. I've had to do a few things, load 1 or 2 pieces by myself. But for the most part, I don't touch the equipment. I just basically chain it down, make sure it's measured properly, and go from there. Excuse me. Suppose I'll take some time to consider next options and study to see what will be our best option. Yeah, that's all you can do, right, Kiana? There is a certain value in sometimes just taking a risk. Just go for it. some, I can handle some of that. I'm not that big on, gung ho, go for broke with everything. I don't, I'm a little more cautious than that. But at the same time, I can see the value in being a little more risky with, taking a chance on something. You know, uh, okay. Well, Rhonda, hopefully it's not thrombosis. Because that can really, really hurt you. So, just, I mean, I give my homespun advice, aspirin to thin the blood out a little bit, let it flow a little better in the body. Lots of water, let it flow through the body. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of joint pain or muscle pain or anything like that. I mean, I've been really, really active for the vast majority of my life. Cycling, landscaping, construction, being an arborist. I've always been, a go, go, go. I'm not the strongest guy in the world. By far, nowhere near it. But I make up for the actual physical strength with endurance. I can go for a long period of time, kind of like a diesel engine. I'm not going to spin at 45,000 RPM, and just blow out the horsepower. No, I'm like a diesel engine, just slow and steady, pop, 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 going on. But I do take this, curcumin. This helps with inflammation. I would say get yourself some of this. SmarterNutrition.com. I'm not promoting them. That's not paid for. It's just I like it. It works for me. So whatever. But like I said, I've been waiting here for, like I said, 5 hours since I got to this location. But it's been 28 hours since I dropped off my load and have not received another one. No messages come through since about 9 o'clock this morning, which I was basically told to wait. A little activity out here. We had this parking lot pull in and change his own tire, which is a nice thing to see. A driver actually knows what they oh man, neurofibromatosis. Well, everything that I've ever learned about that kind of stuff there, Rhonda, vitamin B12 is supposedly thought to be very helpful. B12, it helps to repair the sheath on your nerve cells. When you start losing the myelin sheath on your nerve cells, that's what causes a lot of these problems, Alzheimer's and other dementia things. So look up, try to get yourself some good vitamin B12 that may help to slow it. I'm not going to say it's a cure-all. I'm not going to say it's going to do anything, but it's a possibility. I've read studies that it is a helpful thing. Higher levels of B12 in your system can help that. So you may want to try that. Also, forcing yourself to move a lot more. Start off with simple yoga. 5 minutes of yoga to start out. Just keep expanding it as you get more accustomed to it. That can, it's kind of like the placebo effect. You feel better, you start to feel better because you're being more active. That just kind of builds upon itself. You feel better, so you start doing better. So you start feeling better, so you start doing better. It's kind of goes along that way. But that's I digress. That's just some things that I've learned over my years of dealing with pain, of dealing with injury, whatnot. But that's like my driver's seat. Now, you have some truck drivers out there that will put their seat all the way down and all the way back. Then they get the big stick extension, so they're shifting up here. They got the stick up there. It's like, and they got it way up here, like the old ape hangers off the motorcycle, right? Well, my seat is down and all the way back. I'm 6'1". I have fairly long legs. I like my pedals to be up near the ball of my feet, because that's how you ride a bicycle, on the ball of your foot. That's where you produce the best, most efficient power. You pedal with your heel, you're going to wear yourself out real quick. But that's the way I drive a truck as well. Also, my hips, I like my hips lower than my knees for most of the day when I'm sitting down, because I've spent 30 years on a bicycle, because I've done a lot of super heavy physical work, being an arborist, being a landscaper, bending over, carrying things, jumping up and down off of things. My hips have taken a bit of a beating. They're not bad, but I know when I sit up with my, like I said, here's my hip, right like that. And then if I sit with my knee up like this, it takes the pressure off of my hips. It allows the joint to sit a little bit better, and I'm more comfortable. If I sit with my legs, straight like that, my knees straight out, or my knee down, if I do that for 8-10 hours a day, I'm going to be in pain. It's going to go through my hips, it's going to go up through my back, and then I'm wiped out. I think anybody who's had back pain and they still have to do physical work, they know that feeling that you got to do that, and you're walking around. You walk down like you got a metal spot, the metal shaft right up your spine, and you can't bend, you can't flex. So, I sit down in that position because physiologically it's better for me. Some guys do it because they just want to be cool. And since I'm not cool, there you go. I mean, if I get any kind of props out there on the road for being cool, they obviously don't know me well enough. I'm just a dork in a truck. I'm just your run-of-the-mill guy in a truck. That's all. All right. Well, let's see. Well, besides picking up the carpet cleaner, which is pretty much unnecessary for most truck drivers, but like I said, I like keeping the truck as clean as possible. I picked up some more GoPro batteries, because the ones I have are the little tab has fallen off, or they just wore out, so they're not functioning properly. Did that. I bought a circuit tester. I bought a mini butane torch. Trying to think else what I got. Oh, I did walk in. I was going to get a double, hot plate thing. But I got in there. I saw the ones they had. Either there was too big of a draw, or it was a piece of garbage, so I didn't get one of those. 4 and 5 taken out. You mean vertebrae? We talking up here or down here? All right. And what did they put in? They probably put titanium in or ceramic, right? It's got messages coming through. So I'll answer that in a little bit. All right, Rodney, just go get your sleep. Make sure you're as comfortable as you can be, and then just I will say a prayer as always to make sure you get some kind of relief. And hope, well, we can always hope for a miracle. So at least relief, temporarily. Because sometimes that does wonders as well. All right. So like I said, today was just a midstream live feed. Didn't have anything real, any topic really to discuss. So anybody here has any questions, just feel free to fire them off, and we'll see what we can do to answer them. So I am getting a bit more organized with the truck. Every day, a little bit something more gets put away properly. But until I'm able to do the cabinetry work that I want, like in this cabinet here, in the one that's below the camera here, right there on the floor, and also underneath the bed, the platform I'm going to build there. Until that happens, it's still going to be a little bit wonky. I mean, I am going on 3 months in the truck. Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah, lower 4 and 5, lumbar 4 and 5. That's pretty tough. I mean, that'll mess up. That'll really restrict your ability to move. And I'm not surprised you have pain in the legs from that. And titanium, yeah, because titanium is one of those metals that it doesn't have a known deleterious effect on the body. The proteins, enzymes, fats, and all the other normal chemicals and electrical properties of the body don't really react with it too much. So that's why they use titanium. It's strong, it's light, it doesn't have a lot of bio, reactive properties. So, what was that woman's name? The Bionic Woman, Jamie Summers. Rhonda is the new Jamie Summers. As long as you can run in slow motion, you're good to go. Have a good night, Rhonda. Talk to you later. See you on one of your streams soon as well. Hey, Redneck, how you doing, sir? So, with the name Redneck Metals, are you doing a lot of hunting and detecting with the metal detector and whatnot, a little geological surveying or whatnot? Right. Yeah, I get that all the time. How the hell did I wind up here with this idiot? Or are you on the wrong channel for you? Well, like I said, not too, it's just basically a slow, pointless kind of a day to day. Sat around, did nothing all day long. Spent a little bit of money shopping. Spent, had dinner at the Golden Corral, which, okay, Stu, so you got a forge and everything. And you're doing castings and whatnot. Always found that interesting, especially doing alloys and whatnot, how that kind of stuff is calculated out. I always found it amazing that such a tiny amount of this additive, mineral will change the properties of the parent metal drastically. Second and or 2D and 3D castings. Okay, so using wax, sand, base metal, metal, metal formed castings, with like thin wall stuff. And like I was saying, I've always found that fascinating about metallurgy and how they discovered how to do those things. Graphite. I didn't know they used graphite. I mean, I guess graphite. I mean, because I've delivered graphite, cathodes. I brought graphite, big, huge, cathodes, for metal smelting, plants. They're about yay big around, big, giant pencil lead. Basically what it was. Okay, bronze. Okay, I see. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've taken those big old anode cathodes, what they want to call them. Brought them from South Carolina all the way up to Muscatine, Iowa, to a steel plant up there. And they run through those things like anything. Those things just burn right out. But like I said, I've always found it fascinating that you could take a tiny amount of tin, a little bit of zinc, a little bit of molybdenum, a little bit of carbon, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You mix it into, like 1/100,000%, and you mix that into 4 tons of aluminum, and the properties of aluminum are radically different than some other variety. I'm just getting a lot of impatient calls here, so I'm going to turn this off here in a moment. But I thank you all for watching. I'm getting like the kids say, it's blowing up. But like I said, a slow day today. Sat around. I mean, I drove 1 hour from Tappahannock, Virginia to Rutherford Glen, Virginia to get up to a real truck stop so I can have a shower and whatnot. Be a little more centrally located. So when I do get a load, I can go there a little bit quicker. But other than that, nothing really exciting for the day, Well, I hope to see you two again. I'll be looking for your channel as well, for any lives that you guys do with your pours, because I always like learning things like that. My normal schedule for lives, when I'm actually not doing anything on the weekend, is going to be Saturday and Sunday between 6 and 6:30 start time, whenever I can. Those are going to be the normal vlogs, the normal live streams that I try to schedule. This is one of those midweek ones where I had nothing better to do, so I got on the old YouTubers and just did what I just rambled on because I had nothing better to do with my time. So I'll say goodnight and God bless to all of you. Thank you for stopping by. Please send a prayer for Rhonda so she starts feeling a bit better, and also for Kiana girl's dog, Serafina, who was bitten by a baby rattlesnake. Let's all say our prayers for each other as well. Just God bless, and I hope you all have a good day. Have a good night.